Hello, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Qlaryce. I am a recording musical artist, and welcome to my first episode of Sigana. Now, Sigana is my mother tongue's name for folktales. Folktales are stories that I usually told to children, and so I thought that it was prudent to begin this segment because it would help us nostalgically by taking us back to when we were children, we didn't have responsibilities, and life was great. So, this is my first episode, and this is my first story. So, a long, long time ago in the village of Abanta, there was a girl called Aloo. Aloo had two of her friends, Apiyo and Aketch. So, when Aloo, Apiyo, and Aketch had attained puberty, their breasts had not started growing. And so they were the ridicule of the village. This worried their moms very much, and their moms decided to seek a solution for their daughter's problem. So one morning they convened, discussed, and they decided that it was best to go and see a native doctor. So they left very early in the morning and arrived at the native doctor's place. They were welcomed. They were told to remove the shoes and enter the native doctor's hut. When they sat there, they told the native doctor their problem, and the native doctor told them that, this is a problem that I've solved before. I've helped a few girls in the village of Mayele, but there's a catch. Out of the 6 girls that I helped, only 3 were successful to have their breasts begin to grow. So the moms were like, okay, so what did you do for them? And then the native doctor told them, you will go and give your daughters these herbs. So the native doctor gave them the herbs that they were supposed to go and give to Aloo, Apiyo, and Aketch. And the native doctor also told them that since they are the ridicule of the village, you cannot give them the medicine while they are there. They're still going to be stressed. So you will need to take them very deep into the forest, build a hut, leave them there, so that they'll be at peace for them to achieve what they were looking for. So their moms hurried back home and went and bundled up everything, including Aloo, Apiyo, and Aketch, and they set out to go into the forest. When they arrived, they built the hut. They built the hut and left their daughters in there and instructed them to take the herbs once a day because those were the instructions of the native doctor, and they left them that day's supply of food and told them that they would be back the following day. So the following day, the moms came, and on their way to the hut, they noticed very huge footprints. And they remembered that there were stories that had been told of a certain monster that usually lives in the forest. And so they discussed amongst themselves, could it be that this monster is real? That means that if the monster is real, then our daughters' lives are in danger. And so they hurried into the forest, arrived at the hut, and they were glad to see that there's nothing that had happened to their children. And so they started discussing their experience on their way there. They told them about the footprints. And so they told their daughters that they should not open the door to anyone. And so Aloo's mom specifically told them that the only way to know that it's us who've come to visit you is I will be singing a song every time when I come to bring you guys food and to see if your breasts have begun growing. I will be singing a song. The song that Aloo's mom sang goes like this. Alonyara, kachentu no biro, mama, toini dwagedala, mama. So Aloo's mom told the girls that whenever she comes and sings that song, that is the only time that the girls were supposed to open the door for them. So they left, they shut the doors, the door of the hut, and they left to go to the village. So the girls continued drinking the herbs as they were told, and the following day, the moms came back to bring them the third day's supply of food. So when the moms arrived, Aloo's mom sang, Alonyara, kachentu no biro, mama, to ini dwagedala, mama. And so Aloo, Apiyo, and Aketch opened the hut. And luckily, Apiyo's breasts had begun growing. And so the Apiyo's mom was very, very happy. Apiyo was very happy. And so after leaving them the food, the moms left with Apiyo and left Aloo and Aketch in the hut. So when they got back in the village, everyone was celebrating. Apiyo's mom was very happy because Apiyo was not going to be a ridicule of the village anymore. And so she told the rest of the other moms, I don't need to go back into the forest with you guys. You guys will just go back on your own. So Aloo and Aketch's mom planned to go back into the forest the following day. On arrival, Aloo's mom sang again. Aloo nyara, kacheng no biro, oh mama, to ini doge dala, oh mama. And then the girls opened the hat, and luckily, Aketch's breasts had begun growing. So Aketch's mom was very happy. Aketch was also happy. And after leaving the girls the food supply for the day, they left. So Aloo was left in the hut all by herself. When they arrived in the village, Aketch's mom and Aketch were welcomed excitedly by the village members. And Aketch's mom told Aloo's mom that I don't think I'll be going back into the forest because you see, my daughter's breasts have begun growing. So Aloo's mom was worried that she'd be going into the forest by herself. So the following morning, she said, but I cannot abandon my daughter. I'll just have to go back into the forest and see if my daughter's breasts have begun growing. So she set out, she arrived at the hut, and she sang, Alonyara, kachentu no biro, mama, to inidwage dala, mama. And so Aloo opened the hut. Unfortunately, Aloo's breasts had not begun growing, despite her drinking the herbs as instructed, eating and staying away from the village's ridicule. So her mom started worrying that could it be that out of the three girls, it's her daughter whose breasts won't get to grow as the girls of the village of Mayeli. But then they talked to each other and they said that we should just continue maintaining hope that things are going to go well. So Aloo's mom left Aloo that day's food supply, shut the hut, and left. The entire time that the moms were coming, there was an ogre that was standing behind the hut and listening to everything that the moms were doing. And so he had seen the girls leave one by one. But he knew very well that this was the best time to strike because Aloo was all by herself. It had thought that if I attacked, there was absolutely no way that I was going to attack all of them at once. Some of them will escape and go back to the village and tell the villagers about me. So when he realized that Aloo had been left alone in the hut, he came close to the door and sang, pretending to be Aloo's mom. Alonyara, kacheng to no biro, yeah, mama, to inidwage dala, yeah, mama. Aloo was worried and concerned. But that is the song that my mom sings. But how come the person who is singing has a very, very deep voice? So she tarried, she did not open the door. And so the ogre left in disappointment. And so the ogre, on his way, he was so stressed, but he came across a pigeon. And the ogre and pigeon had been friends for quite some time. And the pigeon asked the ogre, my friend ogre, how come today you are not in the right mood? And so the ogre told the pigeon, but I haven't eaten anything the whole day. And so the pigeon asked, but how is that possible? You're such a huge being. I mean, all the animals bow down to you. You could even come across someone who just offers themselves to be eaten by you. And then the ogre narrates the experience with Aloo. And then the pigeon tells him, that is a very, very easy problem. That's a problem with a very easy solution. This is something that I learned from way back. All you'll need to do is you'll go and put your tongue in the safari ant's path. They will bite your tongue, and then your voice will become soft. So the ogre was excited and he decided to do exactly as the pigeon had told him. And so he went on the safari ant's path, and the safari ant bit his tongue, and he started singing. Alonyara. And so he asked himself, how come my voice is still deep? And then the pigeon told him that you did not stay there long enough. And so the ogre went back to the safari ant's path and stayed there getting beat for long enough. And then eventually he tried his voice again. And this time he sang, Alonyara, kacheng tu no biro, mama, to inidwage dala, mama. And so he realized that his voice had become soft. And so he left to go and see if he can trick Aloo to open the hut. Before he got to the hut, he realized that he needed to go so fast because it was around the time when Aloo's mom usually comes and brings Aloo's Aloo the food supply. So he got onto the hut and he started singing, Aloo nyara, kacheng tuno biro, ah mama, to ini doge dala, ah mama. And so Aloo thought that actually it's around the time when mom usually comes to bring me food. So I will definitely open the hut and receive my mom. So unfortunately, when Aloo opened the hut, it was the ogre. And so the ogre stole Aloo and left the hut's door wide open. So when Aloo's mom arrived at the hut, she was petrified because she had not found her daughter in the hut. And so she rushed back to the village and told the villagers about what she had seen, that her daughter wasn't there. And so Aloo and the ogre traveled deeper and deeper into the forest. And so they arrived at the ogre's hut. And Aloo thought quick on her feet and told the ogre, but you cannot eat me like this. I'm still very thin. How about you fatten me for a few days and then you'll eat me when I'm fat and rich in oils and everything. You're going to gain the best of nutrients. And so the ogre thought to himself, that is not a bad idea. And so he decided that he was going to do as Aloo had told him. So he kept on bringing Aloo foods and nice things. And over the course of time, Aloo grew fat. And so the villagers all this time were still looking for Aloo, and they had not found her for a few weeks. And so one day the ogre got tired of fattening Aloo, and he was like, this is the day that I am going to eat you, Aloo. And so Aloo thought quick on her feet, and she remembered that when they took the herbs that were supposed to help them grow their breasts, they would sleep. And so he told the ogre that in our village, whenever we have a very huge ceremony, we usually eat these herbs so that we get to eat and eat and eat to our fill. And Aloo told the other that you do not want to leave me halfway. If you eat me and you're so full, then you leave a little bit of me, someone will come and eat it, and you'll miss out on the other bit of meat that you could have eaten. So the ogre agreed, and he snatched the herbs off of Aloo's hands and ate the herbs. And once he ate the herbs, he started sleeping. So this trick had worked for Aloo because Aloo knew that whenever they ate the herbs, they would go to sleep. So the ogre went to sleep. Luckily, around this time, the villagers had located the ogre's hut, and they made their way to the hut, and they found Aloo safe and sound, and by God's grace, Aloo's breast had begun growing, and they began celebrating. During this time, they spooked the ogre, and the ogre got up, but the villagers were so many, they subdued the ogre and killed it. So the entire village left the forest happy, and they went back home and put up a huge celebration to celebrate their success. That is the end of the story. So the moral lesson of this story is that you should never give up hope. Thank you so much for watching. Do leave a comment in the comment section what you think about this segment, and share this story if you enjoyed it. See you in my next Sigana story. Bye.